See you going up this time.
Oh, butterfly. I have very fond memories of growing up in Brooklyn. Wow, my upbringing in Brooklyn, New York was like none other. Brooklyn is like filled with so much culture, and growing up in the 70s, I was exposed to so much culture, specifically black culture. At 7, I wouldn't have termed it showbiz aspirations, but I definitely knew that I was into the arts. I mean, I was surrounded by it, you know, through my family. So it was natural. I did Mama I Wanna Sing. I was the original lead in Mama I Wanna Sing at 11. I turned 12 years old during that production. It was a workshop production at the Moz Repertory Theater. It was my first experience doing theater. I started working with Uptown Records in about 1992 with my cousins Andre and Brian Wilson, and they had me come aboard to vocal coach and vocal produce and co-write and sing backgrounds and so forth. I signed to Uptown. I must have been about 22 or 21 or something like that. I had a production deal. Pretty big buzz and bidding war and everything. And one of the points that I wanted to have in my deal was the key man clause. And that basically states like, okay, whoever signs you to a deal, if they should leave that label, then you would be able to leave too, because the person who had your best interest is no longer there. Mobb Deep, those are like my people right there. Back in, I guess I would say maybe 94, 95, Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest was working with Havoc from Mobb Deep and Maddie C and Scott Free from Loud Records. And he came to me and told me, yo, I have a song I want you to get on. There's been a lot of buzz about Mobb Deep at the time. This was their sophomore album, but their first album with Loud Records. And I went in and it was like a good energy. I went in and laid the hook, right? And from then on, they like would call me whenever they needed. Like I did Temperatures Rising with them. I did Temperatures Rising remix. They also called me to do Survival of the Fittest remix, as well as G.O.D. Part 3 remix. So I always say I was the unofficial member of Mobb Deep. I decided I wanted to go the independent route. Primarily because at that point I had learned a lot about the business. Late 90s, early 2000s, I created my own independent label called EFM, which stands for Egyptian Fusion Music. Creating the Day Before Heaven CD, I basically did all of my production at home. I did all of my vocal recording. I was the engineer, the vocal producer, the songwriter. I wore a lot of hats during this project. As an independent and underground project, I would say that The Day Before Heaven is still doing pretty well. I still get sales because it's still new to a lot of people. I just completed a script, a musical, The Day Before Heaven, the musical, which is basically a story of my life. And I'm excited about the production. We're gonna go into full production in 2016. So now I'm like basically going 360-degree full circle. I started off in theater, had my tenure in the music business, and I still, you know, am writing and stuff like that. But my focus is really more back in the theater now.